Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. First, I want to say thank you so much for watching my previous video, and I got new subscriptions and I am so grateful for that. And before I continue, just remember to click the subscribe button below and tell your friends to tell their friends to tell their friends to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to tell you a story about how I came to Ethiopia and how I got to come here. And it's a really long story. I'm going to try to summarize and try to touch on a few things that I need to touch on. First, before I came here, I did not think that I would come here, and so I did not think that I would teach. I did not even want to teach in the first place. But when I got this job offer, I thought it's something I would like to try out because it's far away from it's outside the country, and I really love exploring different places, different cultures. So I thought to myself, why not? And I talked to a few people, and they encouraged me, and they made me feel like it's something I really need to try out. So I applied for the job. I got the interview. I went to the interview. I did the interview, and I passed. I was called to come and work here. So in the interview, I met some of my friends whom I went to school with, and one of my friend who is also a close friend to me. And so we were working on coming here together, and we did everything. We processed everything. And at that time, I had just signed a contract with my new management for music. So the reason why I really did not want a teaching job was because I felt like teaching gets too much of my time, and I needed a job that is much more flexible, that can allow me to do music and still work. So that's why I did not want to teach, and that's why I've not been teaching for quite some time. So when this opportunity came, at first I was scared. I was scared, but I had to try it out. So this is where it begins. When we got the job, we did everything, of course, all the preparations. Me and my friend, because we got the job together, and she was a friend in campus. Now we became closer because of the job. So we did everything, and my management did a farewell party. And by then, my manager really encouraged me. He told me, you go and work, you go and do this job and get the experience and enjoy your life. Don't close up yourself too much. Do the job, save up your money, and you can come back anytime. Your music is still here, and we can also always find a way to do the music while you are there. So I said yes, why not? So I remember when I was processing my papers and taking them, there's that certification. You have to certify your documents. So I went to the Foreign Affairs office, and I met this guy there, and he was like, "Girl, you brought your documents?" I said yes. "Where are you going?" So I told him Ethiopia. He told me, "Are you crazy?" I was like, "What? I'm not crazy." He was like, "Why are you going to work in Ethiopia?" I asked him, "Why not?" He said, "Why would you leave your Kenya for Ethiopia?" I told him, "I'm not leaving, I'm just going to work." He told me, "Girl, you will go there and you will want to come back. You just want to come back home. Don't, he said, if I was your father, I wouldn't let you go there." I told him, "Why?" He said, "I'm telling you this for free, but don't go. I can't say that I'm encouraging you to go." And then he told me, "You can't leave Kenya for," like, he was so negative about it. He made me feel like I'm doing something that is very wrong. So he told me, "You leave your documents, come later in the afternoon." When I went back in the afternoon, he told me, "Are you sure you're going to Ethiopia?" I was like, "Yes." He told me, "Okay, pack everything, carry milk, carry everything, carry flour, carry everything, and you'll thank me later. Don't carry clothes. It's not so important." So we did everything. I'd signed the contract, and we came. So that day, I remember we were escorted by my brothers at the airport, and my friend had her friends. So it was a one big family, and there we departed. We almost actually got late because we were excited, talking and all that. We came. It was an evening flight, and we got here at around 7. So it was so cloudy that day. I remember it was so cloudy and it was so dark, and the turbulence were too much. The flight was not smooth. So I was like, oh my God, I hope this is not trying to tell us that life there is hard. So we came, and before we landed, the moment we just saw the lights and we knew we are now in Ethiopia, my friend was just freaking out. She was saying, Mercy, I want to go back. I was like, what? I want to go back home. I don't think I can stay here. I was like, we have not even landed. So by the time we were landing and we were out of the plane, she was crying. She was saying, Mercy, where is this place? I want to go. I told her, this is a place, and this is a place where you're going to be, and you'll enjoy. Just be flexible. And really, it wasn't that easy. Fast forward, when we were boarding the plane, our host, who was to wait for us at the airport, had asked us to send her our photo to see how we were dressing so that she can identify us. So by the time we alighted, I realized I'd sent her our photo, but the photo had not, the message had not been delivered, because I think by the time it was still processing, the plane took off. So the photos were not delivered. And there we are, two strangers in a very strange land, and we don't know where we are going. We don't know. We can't call because our line cannot connect anymore. We do not have credit. We do not have a line. And my friend is totally freaked out, and I told her, relax, we'll find a solution. So later on, by the big up Lydia, she's the friend I'm talking about. So later on, I managed to connect the Wi-Fi at the airport with the help of one worker there, and I texted our host, and she said, I have just arrived, I'm outside, I'm waiting for you, you just come, I will see you. And yes, we went. So there's that, during the clearance, we are told, foreigners this side. And my friend was like, Mercy, you see now they are calling us foreigners. I was like, yes, we are foreigners because this is not home. Just what I had not expected, that Ethiopia would be so different. Of course, it's Africa, but it's so different. Okay, I've been to Uganda, I've been to Tanzania. Compared to Ethiopia, it's so different. As much as it's Africa and it's just near Kenya, the culture here is very different. The people look very different, and there's so many different things. So those were some of the things we saw at the airport. But I noticed that people are kind, because we had to ask for someone's phone to make a call, and they just gave us, they helped us, they directed us. We went out and we met our host, and our host was also very friendly. She made us feel at home. Big up Miss Susan. She made us feel at home, and we just went to our guest house that night. Of course, things were different from what I had expected, or from the image I had. Things were totally different, but I was trying to keep my cool and just try to adapt. So we went to the guest house and we spent there the night. That guest house hosts the guest house belongs to the institution, so it hosts most new workers for the institution. Now, Chikri Ali. When I say Chikri Ali, it means there is a problem, or there is a problem. So we slept, and the following day we woke up, and we had like a week to prepare to go to work. While we were there, we met some friends who were also colleagues who were still living the guest house. And I realized I don't have clothes. Guys, I don't have clothes to go to work. Not because I did not carry clothes, but clothes that I did not... Let me just say, there are challenges that came with coming to Ethiopia. Many challenges that I had not expected. First, I realized I think I had not really read my contract so well. because I was carrying clothes. And in Kenya, as a teacher, in my country, you can put on a below the knee skirt and it's okay, a below the knee suit and it's okay. Here, you put on a dress that is below the is it ankle? Yes, uko chini. So I think walisema below the ankle in the contract, mimi niliona below the knee. So all my skirts and my dresses were below the knee. Here, you don't put on high heel shoes. It's not allowed totally. You have to put on a flat shoes. So you have to put on a long dress with a flat shoes. At least trousers are allowed as long as it's long and it's not tight. So the first day we go to work and I have nothing to put on. I am telling you, I have nothing. Lucky enough, I had some 2 dresses I had carried. I had not planned to wear them, by the way. They were like dinner dresses. I had planned to wear them maybe in a special occasion. That's what I had to wear for like the first 2-3 weeks. And some 2 trousers. One of them, I put it on the first day and I was told it's too tight. So I had to guys, it wasn't easy. So we went to work, to school. It's a school, of course. I'm a teacher. Everything is different. I'm telling you guys, everything is different. First, the system of the school is totally different from what I was used to. Students are very different. The way they behave is so different. So you have to be able to manage the students. That's the first exam you have to pass. You have to be able to manage your classroom before you are able to even teach them. And I'm telling you, in my country, of course, there is no beating of students. You can't beat students. It's not allowed. But here you can't. You see, there you can. In my country, you can't. But here you can't. Like you can't. You can't touch a student. Like you can't. It's so forbidden. It's not something you even want to. And the students can reach you up to here. You see, they can reach you up to here. Like you can really get mad. You can really get mad, but you cannot beat them. So you have to use the system way of punishment. Like there is, I don't know the format. Actually, a student, if you want to punish a student, there is what you call, is it a format? How do you call that? Where you give a student a paper to write down the mistake he did, to admit the mistake he did, and to say he will not repeat it again. So it's a sentence. I made noise in class, but I will not repeat it again. Or I'm sorry, I won't repeat it again. That's one sentence. So he has to duplicate or replicate that sentence until that paper is full, that sheet of paper is full, or maybe 2 or 3, you see? And because they're lazy, most of them, they'll like get scared and say, no, I won't. Those are the kind of punishments you do here. The people who have taught in international schools can know what I'm talking about. That's the first week. Yani, you go to a class. And all the students, it's like they look alike, by the way. Because, okay, my friends, the locals here look different. They are very light skinned and they have smooth, soft, long hair. And for the first time when you look at the students, it's like, this one looks like this one, like this one looks like this. Like they look alike. So I go to class and I don't know who's who. And their names are very hard. Very hard. Like I could not grasp a name for 1 week. I learned only like one name in each class, and I was teaching like 8 streams. So in every class I knew one name or nothing in 1 week. Sorry about that. So I was like, hey, in Ingori. Work is a lot, guys. Work is a lot. Kwanza you have to manage those students, and then there's a lot of work. Exercise books there's exercise books, there is workbooks, and you have to mark exercise books and mark the workbooks, and record the marks and enter the marks in the computer yourself. And there are deadlines for everything. Every little detail, there's a deadline. And there is a consequence for everything you didn't do right. If you don't do if you come late in school, if you are late for 1 minute, like you have to come before time. If you come to school by 7:45, you are late. You are supposed to be there by 7:44. So if you come 7:45, you cannot sign in. You are late. And there's a consequence for that. You have to sign some sheet of paper. If you go late to class, there is a consequence for that. If you don't mark your books on time, there is a consequence for that. An assignment is supposed to, you are given a maximum of, I don't even want to, if you don't, if a student's book is found that unmarked, maybe there's a page that was not marked in the workbook. A workbook is like a textbook. The only difference is that they write inside. The way there are questions and answers and stories and all that. It's like a textbook in my country, but they write in that workbook. So the same way you mark exercise books is the same way you mark workbooks. And the workbooks are very big. Like they're very thick and big, so they have a lot of work. And you have to mark one by one, check spelling mistakes and everything. And spelling mistakes are plenty because here they don't speak English and you understand. So if by mistake one student's exercise book or workbook is found unmarked, and maybe they have tests after every 1 week. After every 1 week, you teach for 1 week. The following week they'll do a test, weekly test like that. So after the test and one book is found unmarked accidentally, even maybe the student did not bring or did not collect the book and it's not marked, and you did the test and it's found, that is a warning. There's something called warning. You sign something called a warning. That is, they deduct they have to deduct your allowances. Like you lose your allowances for that. Your allowances are, and I'm telling you, it's not easy. It's a painful thing. You just really have to get used to it. Like your allowance is deducted because of, you see. So such mistakes, like if you put on a tight cloth, there's a punishment for that. If your shoe is open, you don't put on open shoes. Okay, you can put on an open shoes, but behind it has to be closed. If it's open, it's a school. It's a school where students and teachers, it's like students have more rights than the teachers. So like you are punished. You're punished for for being a teacher. You're punished for. Then you have to put on a lab coat the whole day. So I had to try to adapt. First, to wake up early and to report to work early, and I had to have to adapt my timing, and I had to learn to do everything on time, to learn to carry out my work on time. You have to plan your work. You have to know, I have to mark this by this time, I have to do this by this time. Yani ni kujipanga, because if you don't, the system will arrange you. If you don't arrange, usipojipanga, the system itakupanga. But I learned to like do everything, and I just found things easy with time. School goes up to 3 in the evening, and 3 students leave, and the teacher can leave anytime from 3:30. But usually if you don't plan your work well, there are those days you can stay in school up to 7 in the evening, just marking and recording marks and doing stuff. It's not like in the schools we know in my country where you would just lag behind, maybe no. Here you just have to work for your money. You have to work. Like you don't get paid for lazing around. No one will pay you for that. So that is a really positive vibe that I got. At first it was really unfair, which sometimes you still feel is, because you can be given a consequence for something you didn't do, but sometimes you have it's really good. There's one time I was given a consequence because a student's book was found in class the morning of they were supposed to do the test that morning, and his book was found in class, which means he did not carry the book with him at home. He did not go with the book. The book was marked. Everything was okay. But the student did not carry the book at home with him the previous day. So I was given a consequence. I was deducted my salary for that because I did not make sure that. Yet I gave every student their books. They went home with the books. So he left his book somewhere on the desk. And I'm being punished. I'm being deducted my money for that. I remember it was so bad. You like have to appeal. If you feel like it's not fair, you write an appeal. And it's not a must that the appeal will go through. But my appeal went through. Like a month or two later, I was paid the money that I was deducted. But it's just quite a challenge. So, that aside, that is my work. So you can imagine I just landed here. I'm trying to deal with everything else, and then I'm trying to deal with my job environment, something I was totally not used to. That aside, there is what we call culture shock. My friend. First of all, language barrier. People speak Amharic. You understand when you go to a place where you don't understand what they're saying. It's just a challenge. You go to the market, they want to overcharge you because they know you don't understand what they say. Even you try to communicate with someone, it's very hard because everything's different. And up to now, I still face that challenge. I can't count 1 to 10 in Amharic. Some of my friends do because I think to me it's just too hard, too difficult to learn a new language like Amarinya. So it's a challenge. You can't communicate totally. You cannot. It's a story for another day. It's a long story. I don't want to even talk about language barrier. Another thing that was so tough. Okay, we are a bit different. The way I just told you, Ethiopians are very light skinned. Most of them, 80% of them are light skin, and they have soft long hair, and they look different, and their women are a bit slim. They are small, like they are small in size, and they're tiny, and they're pretty. By the way, they're really pretty. They're really, really pretty. So whenever you walk on the streets, because we have some most Kenyans have some ASS behind. So those guys, like, they are really interested. Like they are so like everyone wants to look at your ass, and they want to, like, even the idlers would want to tell you, Miss, your ass is ass konju, ass good. That means ass good. Like they want to make some comment. At first, it used to really get into me. Like you walk someone and someone says big ass. So you see, you really take it badly. But really what he meant, because he doesn't understand English, he didn't mean anything bad. He maybe meant it a compliment. But it's so bad because you don't understand it the way he understands it, or the way he puts it. So it was really hard for me. Like everywhere you pass, big ass, good ass nice, miss. It was a challenge, but now I know how to handle that. Like, I just take it as a compliment and move on. I won't even. That aside, because my hair is very kinky, by the way. I have African kinky hair, as you can see. It's very, very kinky. Their hair is very soft. So to go to a salon and just get someone who can make your hair is chicory. It's problem. It's really, it's not easy. The first time I walked to a salon, the guy came and touched my hair and called another lady, and the lady came and they touched my hair, and they were talking in Amharic, and they're just wondering what to do with my hair because they don't know what to do with my hair. And it was and I'm telling you, that day I left that salon with half of my hair there, because they pull it, they washed it quite well. But when it came to combing it and to blow dry it, it was so bad, hard. And right now I know how to do my hair the natural way. I can keep it naturally. I learned how to live with it the natural way because it was the only way. And right now I also know a few salons where I can go and they can make braids like this comfortably without really trouble. And some people also from my country, they do make our hair. You pay them some little money, they make your hair. Generally, here, life is a bit more expensive than home, and there is no. I find the things that I find here that are so good is shoes. You can really get some nice leather shoes and nice leather bags here. The only thing that I find quite a challenge is clothes. You can't really get nice clothes here, and they only sell new clothes. Hakuna mitumba huku, and Kenya na mitumba. Hakuna mitumba huku. So, and mitumba clothes are really nice. Hapa, most of the clothes I think are China made, so you really can't get nice clothes, and they're also quite expensive compared to Kenya. So life generally is expensive here. So you'd rather just get your money here and save it and spend it at home, because if you spend here, you spend a lot of money. Another challenge is food, my friend. Akisi nilikonda. I really had to cut weight because I was working a lot and there's no food. Yani, you think of going home in the evening and thinking there's no food. I just became sorry. At home, here, at home we are used to eating ugali, and here the staple food is injera, and it tastes different. It's fermented. It's the only thing you can get here is injera and rice. And the rice that I got here at first, it had really a funny aftertaste. So you eat it and you don't want to eat the second spoon. So I was starving. I was starving. So right now, of course, I know where I can get flour. If I want flour, I know where I can get it, which is not common here. I know where I can get it, and I know I can cook my food in the house and all that. And meat is very expensive here compared to home. It's quite expensive. Milk, they use many, they have a lot of milk products like cheese, butter, so when you buy milk, it has been processed and a lot has been taken out of it, so it's very watery. So mostly I prefer using powder milk. And then something else. Something else. There's no. At least now I know where you can buy beans. Let me tell you, when I came, I spent like 2 months here. One day I just woke up. My hair is bad. Everything is bad. Like, I don't have food. I don't know what to do. You know what I did? I just booked a flight and packed my bags, and I went to Nairobi the following day. I remember it was a Thursday. I went to Nairobi and I went shopping. I did shopping, nearly shop. Yani I shopped literally for like everything. And on Monday I came back. And of course I lost my allowances because I missed school. If you missed school, there's no negotiation. You can't miss work for whatever reason. So I lost my allowances, but at least I had food. I carried like 15 kilos of pishori rice. I remember I got home, I went to my brother's place and he had just brought pishori he had brought rice from where. So I carried like 15 kilos. I carried like 12 kilos of ugali. I remember reaching at the airport and the guy who checked my luggage was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Why are you going to Ethiopia?" He was like, okay, I understand. I carried food. Like, hey. I shopped for food. So I spent a very less money because I had everything. I had food. I could cook all my food in the house. Another very big challenge here is the foreign exchange. Like, this country is a closed country, and mostly as we are paid in their currency, in their Ethiopian currency, the birr. So getting to exchange the birr into dollars, it's very hard, and birr is not recognized out there in any other country. So you can't even live with that money in the airport. It's not allowed. So you have to change your money into dollars. It's not easy because dollars, there's no flow of dollars in this country because the country is a closed economy country, so hakuna dollars. So you have money, you have a lot of money in your bank, and you go to the bank and you want to maybe travel home and you need dollars, and they tell you we have no dollars, or they give you some few dollars and they tell you no, we don't have more, we don't have, and they give you beer. You have nothing, you don't know what to do with it. The only option you have is to either go to BLACK market and exchange your money at a very poor rate. You actually lose a lot of money, or leave your money in the bank and it will stay there. You see, for that same reason of closed economy, you can't invest here. It's not a country you can invest in, because first, foreigners are not allowed to like do business here unless it's really an essential business. And secondly, because you cannot take your money out of Ethiopia that easily. You can't. It's like you can. Okay, once maybe they open the economy, they always talk about it, that they'll open the economy. Once they open the economy, maybe it will be favorable, but for now it's not. So basically, guys, I've learned a lot of lessons being here. And I have just, it's like I'm a new person. I just realized that I've gained a lot by coming here. It has changed my personality completely, because now I know how to manage my time. I am so good with my time. I'm so patient. I've learned to be so patient. For you to work here, you have to be very patient, to know how to keep time, to know how to be very hardworking, and to be very organized. Those are some of the qualities I did not have when I came here, and now I have. I also know how to appreciate people. I know how to appreciate people's culture. Now I can just get into their culture and like enjoy. And like the first times I was so freaked out with everything. Right now I am not. I know how to appreciate, however good or however funny or bad I may find some things, I just take them the way they are. It is an experience and a half. When I was coming, I said, no, I don't see if I'll finish a month here. Right now, I'm finishing 1 year, and I think maybe I might just want to renew my contract. I don't know. I will think about it. I might just renew my contract. Although the Rona also has come with a lot of challenges, but I think I can stay longer, and it's a nice place. It's a nice experience. Yes, that's basically my story about Ethiopia. I don't want to say anything more because this video is very long. So guys, if you have any questions about this country, any questions about me, any questions about my adaptation here, just ask. I'll leave them at the comment section below, and I'll answer every bit of your questions. Otherwise, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I am so grateful. Just remember to subscribe down here and tell your friends to tell their friends to tell their friends to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you guys. Bye.